with all the latest in news, sports, and entertainment. You're watching the BooneTV Buzz, Iowa High School's most watched high school news show.
Hello Boone High, and welcome to another week of the BooneTV Buzz. I'm Kyan Lehman. Let's see what's been going on here at Boone High School. First up today, there have been new additions to the staff at Boone High School. One of them is new business teacher Cole Corson. Here's BooneTV's Elliot Baker on the new additions to the staff.
This year, Boone High School received some great and influential teachers, as they always do. One of these new and awesome teachers is none other than business teacher, Mr. Corson. Mr. Corson is an amazing addition to the Toreador family and has already begun positively influencing the young minds at Boone High.
I hope, especially with my financial literacy kids, just because that's one of the mandatory business classes that kids have to take, is they start looking at their future and they start understanding if they start investing now, they're going to be well off when their future comes, when they want to retire, and just setting them up with good habits when it comes to spending and looking at their financial success.
Although the school year has just started, Mr. Corson is already making massive impacts on his students.
Mr. Corson makes the questions applicable to our lives, so it's taking real-world problems and applying it to us to make sure that we fully understand what we're learning and get a grasp of what we're trying to do.
I guess in this class we learn more about life skills than any other class. I think he engages with his students more and he's a fun teacher.
Mr. Corson's students feel quite strongly about his class, and Mr. Corson himself is also very much looking forward to the school year ahead.
Just my biggest emphasis so far is Boone's a much bigger school than what I've been in the past. I've been in kind of some smaller schools, and still having that community aspect of learning kids' names and knowing, maybe activities that they are in, so I can, go to some of those that they participate in, just so it helps build kind of that community feeling that we have going on at Boone.
Mr. Corson is already hard at work, teaching his students valuable lessons applicable to the real world. Whenever Mr. Corson's class walks out his door, they walk out with a greater knowledge than they had before, ready to face the world. This has been Elliot Baker with BooneTV.
Roll doors.
Thanks, Elliot. Keeping on the topic of new staff here at Boone High, McKay Eggett has a feature on new English teacher, Miss Tiemann.
This year at Boone High, there are several new teachers. One of those new teachers is in the English department. Miss Tiemann is very excited to be here, and Boone High is very excited to have her.
It's my first job, and so far we're only 3 weeks in, but yeah, I really love it.
Many of the students are excited about class too.
One of my favorite classes throughout the day because it's just very relaxing and it's kind of like a break from all the hectic classes.
She's very kind and she gives good directions.
She's really nice and she gives very good examples.
Miss Tiemann wants to get involved in the Boone community as well.
In a few years, I would like to coach either volleyball or basketball, but just getting the first few years under my belt.
Miss Tiemann is looking forward to a great rest of the year. This has been McKay Eggett for BooneTV.
Thank you, McKay. Next up today, we have Elliot Riddle with his review of the fascinating simulation game, Plastic Duck Simulator.
Greetings, Boone High. This is Elliot Riddle, and welcome to my review. Today, we are taking it easy and looking at Placid Plastic Duck Simulator, a strange little game about looking at plastic ducks in a pool. Let's begin by saying this. This is one of the goofiest experiences I have had playing a game, and I mean that positively. Placid Plastic Duck Simulator consists of plastic ducks floating around in a pool, and that's it. You can give them names, you can click to make them quack, and you can swap the camera angle. And that's it. Every now and then, a new duck will spawn in, all of them having different designs and patterns. With the downloadable content, yes, there is downloadable content, there are over 100 ducks that you can get, and 3 maps for your ducks to float around in. I mean, it certainly doesn't lack content. There's even a multiplayer mode. Look, let's just get the elephant out of the room. First off, while it runs all right, I definitely encounter some stuttering and bugs, even on low graphic settings. And second, this is the bare minimum of what can be considered a game. There is no way to influence the duck's movements. It is the video game equivalent of the DVD screensaver. But once you stop looking at it as a game, though, it becomes slightly more understandable and enjoyable. It's like one of those lo-fi chill beats to relax and study to. But in this one you can name the duckies. It both looks and sounds good. As well as this, the multiplayer is a great time. I have spent well over 10 hours in voice chats just looking at these ducks and talking about the goofy little interactions between them. Of course, it really depends who you're playing with. That can be said about any game. I really enjoyed my time with the game, although most of that is probably due to the people you play it with. Objectively, as a game, I can't give it more than 3 out of 5 stars. But I certainly enjoyed my time with the ducks, and I do recommend that if you're bored enough, you might as well give it a shot. It really does go to show that with the right people, anything can be enjoyable. Anyways, thank you for joining me in this review. I hope to see you next time for my review of watching paint dry.
Thanks for the review, Elliot. Now on to another review. BooneTV's Christian Ingram has his review on the hit football game, Madden 24.
What is up, Boone High? My name is Christian Ingram, and welcome to the Best Review Show. Today I am reviewing Madden 24, the game that was created by EA Sports, a company that makes many different types of sport games play. It is a video game that can be played across all platforms, giving you realistic gameplay. You can play multiple modes like online, franchise, head-to-head, ultimate team, and many more. For gameplay, you can only have 1 to 4 number of players, but for online modes, you can play up to 6 players. Madden 24 can be played with your friends or online people to compete with NFL teams. You can choose any team you like and play another team just like a real football game. Some cons of the game is that there's never really any big changes when they create another new Madden. There's a lot of moments in the game where it will glitch randomly, or sometimes the players in the game will just glitch. Some pros of the game is one thing I love about Madden that doesn't happen to a lot of video games is that you can never really get bored or tired of playing the game. There's various types of modes, and it's always fun to play with your friends or online. This game also shows flashes of reality that most games don't show, and it makes it look like a real game that's on TV. And if I had to give Madden a score out of 5, I would give it a 4 out of 5. I think it's one of the best video games out there, and the only thing I could think of to make Madden better is be able to play 2v2s online with your friends, and that it glitches sometimes, but they usually fix it. Thanks for watching me this week, Boone High. I hope to see you next week for another video.
Thanks, Christian. BooneTV's Cale Killam took to the halls of Boone High to find out Boone High School students' scariest moments with his Question of the Week.
Question of the Week! Question of the Week!
I'm Cale Killam, and I don't know where I am. I'm scared. What's your scariest moment? What is that? What is... Get out! Get out!
My scariest moment is probably getting in a really bad car accident.
What is my scariest moment? Probably when I got rear-ended by a drunk driver, and then my mom had to go to the hospital, and we were there all night. But she's okay now, and I'm okay, so it's okay now.
My scariest moment is when I almost drowned in a river.
My scariest moment is probably when a bat flew around my bedroom in the middle of the night and almost attacked me.
My scariest moment is the time I was working and I was like the only one closing, and I didn't know my boss called in another worker, so I was just doing my thing, and I turn around and there's just my coworker there, and I was like scared, like crapless. It was horrifying.
My scariest moment would have to be the moment when I fell over on my moped and I had no idea what had happened to me. I thought I might have a concussion. I thought my arm might have been broken, and I had no idea what to do because I had basically just been in a crash. I had no idea what was going on and what would happen, and that's why it was probably my scariest moment.
So a scary moment in my life was when I watched the original Scream my freshman year, and friends of mine at the time, like, I didn't sleep for 3 nights. That's how scared I was of this film. I was afraid someone was going to stalk me and kill me. And so friends of mine thought that it would be really funny on Monday morning to take pictures of the Scream mask and place them in places that I would see them, and then they put a large color print out sheet of the Scream character in my binder where I'd found it in science, and it scared me so much that I passed out and hit the floor and got a bloody nose, and they had to like drag me to the nurse's office. So don't do that to your friends.
My scariest moment is when Tyson leapfrogged over me.
Question of the week. Question of the week.
Thank you, Kale, and thank you guys for joining us for this week's news show. We will be back next week with all the latest news from BHS. In the meantime, please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. And as always, roll doors.